A very good afternoon to all of you that have gathered here. Thank you for joining us for today's event. We are glad to have you here with us on this special day. My name is Dindi Sihara and I will be your host till the end of the program. First and foremost, I would like to welcome Head of Department of Commerce of University of Sri Jawadanapura, Dr. E.H. Sumanasiri, former Head of Department of Commerce, Senior Professor E. Dayaratna, and our beloved panel of lecturers, Dr. K.M.V. Sachitra, Ms. D.M.S. Disanayaka, Ms. D.N. Pandita Sekara, and Mr. Sachin Vijayasinghe. I also feel privileged to extend my warm welcome to our panel of judges for the day. And last but not least, I would like to welcome all the other distinguished invitees and contestants of Infinity 2020. Now, I would like to invite the Head of Department of Commerce, Dr. E.H. Sumanasiri, who has been there with us through it all, guiding us and giving us her utmost support, and without whom all this would not have been successful, to deliver the welcome speech and share a few words with us.
Good afternoon, ladies and gentlemen. Thank you for the invitation. The objective of this Infinity Case Study competition is to broaden the undergraduates' understanding about today's corporate challenges, corporate opportunities, and corporate issues. By doing this case study competition, our undergraduates will get the chance to enhance their critical thinking skills, the skills relating to applying the theory into practice, and creative skills, the innovative ideas, and they will get a chance to develop their presentation skills and team working skills. To achieve these objectives, the Department of Commerce and the Commerce Student Society has organized this Infinity Case Study competition for the second time. Before we start the event, I must give my sincere gratitude towards certain parties who have helped in many ways to make this event a success. First of all, my sincere thank goes to the sponsors of this event, AT Sri Lanka and Avans PLC. I must thank for their financial support and the support, other supports in many ways. And also, I must thank the organizing committee of the Commerce Student Society. I know how hard it is to organize an event during this pandemic period, but however, my team was able to do this task with many difficulties. And also, my sincere gratitude goes to the academic staff members of the Department of Commerce in helping my team to make this event more successful. And also a big thank goes to our judge panel for accepting our invitation and joining with us today to make this event more memorable. And without further ado, let's start the event and say who gets the winning title. Thank you so much.
Thank you very much for your precious words, madam. Now, in order to give an overview about today's competition, Infinity is a case study competition which gives the participants an experience which will help them in enhancing their practical knowledge needed when solving an organization's problematic cases. We started off the competition in February 2020 with the preliminary round where 4 teams out of the 15 teams got eligible for the semi-final round, and we successfully concluded the semi-final round on the 13th of March 2021, where 1 team was eliminated and 3 teams got eligible for the final round. So the 3 finalist teams of Infinity 2020 are Team Gladiators, Team Slytherin, and Team Beyond Infinity. I would like to congratulate our finalists for the day and wish all the very best with their presentations today. Ladies and gentlemen, before we move forward, let me give a brief introduction to our judge panel for the day. Today we have a senior lecturer of Department of Marketing Management, Dr. J.W. Dushan Chaminder, head of Department of Information Technology, senior lecturer, Dr. W. Mahesh N. Fernando, Mr. Chatur Javadana, general manager of Avans PLC, Ms. D.M.S. Disanayaka, lecturer of Department of Commerce, Ms. D.N. Pandita Sekara, lecturer of Department of Commerce. Before calling out the contestants, I would like to highlight the rules and regulations of the competition. The competition comprised of 10-minute long pre-recorded presentations from our finalists addressing the issues given in the case study, which will be played on the live Zoom session for the judges. A group should consist of 3 members, and all these members should be undergraduates from any faculty of University of Sri Jayawardenepura. The presentations should not be subjected to plagiarisms. At the end of each presentation video, all members of the group will have to follow a live question and answering session. Judges will be involved in making the final decision of any issue. Before a group can be disqualified on the basis of originality, the group must be given an opportunity to respond to the voting judges. The majority of the voting judges must concur in the decision to disqualify. And most importantly, the decision of the judges will be final. Also, the judges are kindly requested to complete and submit the evaluation sheet at the end of each question and answering session. Now, without further ado, let us now share the presentation of Abdul, Kavindu and Chatura from Team Gladiators.
Guys, welcome. So this is the last stage of the competition, and this is our team. This will be the last time in this competition of Infinity. So as a team, since our first battle, as we say, we believe that battles are not won with a single soldier but an entire army, and we are gladiators, and this is our last battle in this competition. So today, regarding measuring the customer satisfaction for Abans PLC, we are introducing the gladiator triangle. The gladiator triangle is where we will be holistically taking a look at how customer satisfaction could be measured, and every single element regarding to customer satisfaction is covered. Elements such as safety, quality, warranties, and other monetary benefits. We will be looking at them in a holistic view. So to start off, in the gladiator triangle, there are 3 important segments. The first one is internal metrics. It is more towards advanced PLC, and also the customer contact. This is where there's an interaction with customers as well as the organization, and also survey data. Today we will be looking more in depth about these 3 elements, these 3 factors in the gladiator triangle, and we will be giving our recommendations and solution for the case study. Next, I would like to invite Kavindu.
Thank you, Malik. First, internal matrices is a mechanism Abans can use to predict customer satisfaction level based on the internally available information. Customers are satisfied when the particular offer meets their expectations. Customers always form expectations before purchase goods and services. In this mechanism, we are going to predict customer satisfaction based on the Abans performance when dealing with the customers. As an example, let's say Abans promised a customer to deliver the product within 2 days, and Abans couldn't deliver the product within the promised period. Obviously, due to this, that particular customer will be dissatisfied. On the other hand, let's say Abans was able to deliver the product on time, so then customer won't be dissatisfied. Here in this mechanism, we suggest Abans to take records of the performance level of every major activity which is done in the process of satisfying customer. It may be warranty claims or the delivery or the installations of the product. Likewise, Abans can record these performance levels in the CRM software. What is meant by CRM software? Customer relationship management software. To make this process easy, each and every customer should be given with a unique customer ID. By using that, we can filter the satisfaction level of a particular customer during the relevant period. This is a simple mechanism, but can be used to get insights about customer satisfaction level even without taking customer feedback. The second mechanism is customer contact. In this mechanism also, Abans can predict customer satisfaction based on the information which are taken from the customer interactions within the service system, mainly by phone, email, customer visits, likewise. When interacting with customers, we can take records about their experience and the satisfaction level of them about the service provided to them. Here, customer inputs and employee inputs are mainly used in this customer contact stage. Abans can make records in the CRM software and can use to predict customer satisfaction using this information. Take a look at on how these two mechanisms should be implemented. After 6 months of purchase, based on internal metrics and customer contact data, satisfactory level of customers will be anticipated. For that, customer feedbacks which are taken from MyAbans mobile app and web also will be considered. Customers with the lowest foreseen satisfactory level will be put on the priority list for the next 6 months, likewise. So I would like to invite Chatura to continue our presentation.
Okay, thank you, Kaidu. Thank you, Kaidu. Then we can move to our final suggestion, survey data. Surveys are the best sources which show satisfaction, loyalty, and word of mouth impact to a product or service. Surveys are based on statistically sound samples. They can be more representation of the customer needs and experiences than complaints and contact data. There are some types of conduct surveys, such as customer satisfaction score, net promoter score, multi-criteria satisfaction analysis. And we recommend multi-criteria satisfaction analysis according to most of the research articles that we read because of multiple objectives. Then let's see how Abans can conduct this data survey. We suggest to conduct an annual survey because of the cost and feasibility. As Kaidu mentioned earlier, we can use the internal metrics and customer contacts within 6 months. To get responses for a survey is not an easy task. So we can influence customers to fill their survey by giving some additional benefits to them, by giving extended warranties, gifts, or free service for selected customers who filled it. Also, we would like to suggest to make the feedback form more visible in the MyAbans app, like one-click to feedback form. Okay, then let's see how to facilitate customers to receive this Abans annual survey. Okay, this is MyAbans option. This is a platform to customers for their unique login access to their Abans customer login. This will mainly cover current MyAbans app and myabans.com websites. From the organization view, this will control traffic, and from the customer view, this will more access paths. So through this WhatsApp, Facebook, and MyAbans app, also the web page, all of these platforms are connected to MyAbans option. Okay, I would like to invite Malik to continue the presentation.
Thank you, Chatura. So as Chatura mentioned and Kaidu mentioned that we will be giving a holistic approach to measure the satisfaction level of customers. So once a customer purchases, he gets into the customer flow that we've created, or he gets and becomes a part of the Gladiator Triangle. And annually and biannually, there will be surveys that are conducted regarding the customer's experience. And also we'll anticipate for 6 months, and also we will give actions. This the conclusion that we are trying to give is the My Aban service is connected with customers on all levels in the customer flow. That we connect ourselves with the customers on all stages of their purchase and until they disregard their products. Also, we've not sticked only to an application on developing an application because of the holistic approach, and also we do not want to let down even a single customer while we are providing the service to them and measuring their satisfactory level. That is why we've focused on various platforms and softwares regarding to our solution. Furthermore, we would like to also show you all about our research on how planning suggesting to develop the Aban's mobile app to give the purpose to the customer to download the app on their phones, and also an embedded app for laptops and PCs which has the My Aban's feature. Finally, as we all know that the limited time that we have limits us from doing a research. So we opted out to this option of getting multiple information from various books that we've read within a week. We've completed around 4 books within a week, and also 1 to 2 main research articles. Thank you, everyone.
Contestants are kindly requested to unmute their microphones and switch on their video cameras for the question and answering session. Mr. Chatura, do you have any questions for Team Gladiators?
Yeah, am I audible?
Yes, Mr. Chatura.
Yeah. Actually, you guys have covered pretty much one element of the plan as per the brief given. I think there's someone mentioned a thing called multi-criteria for customer satisfaction analysis. May I know what are the multi-criteria that you have looked at?
Yeah, so the multi-criteria statistical analysis is a type of survey that is conducted based on a lot of factors. So according to the articles that we've read, it mentions that it takes a look at a lot of completing a lot of purposes in the article of the analysis. Actually, it varies based on product to product, and we were not able to actually find relevant details about what is actually in the multi-criterion statistical analysis. And I think Chatura will explain because he did the analysis. Yeah.
Can I add some points? The objective is of this method is to evaluate the customer satisfaction level. The other methods, like we earlier mentioned in our presentation, customer satisfaction score and the net promoter score, and those are some points how customer recommend his product to another his colleague. And the customer satisfaction score is mainly something you may have seen some a smile face or a dissatisfied face, something like that, and customer has to only click on that and express his satisfaction level. From that from those two methods, we can't identify what are the real criteria of the customer satisfaction. But in the multi-criteria satisfaction analysis give some more information. Because of that, it analyzes what are the customer satisfaction levels and what are the customer preferences of our products, and what the customer expect from our product likewise.
Answer is pretty much didn't cover what I asked. But I asked these, what are the actually elements, because you are talking about customer satisfaction. So you have showed some reference that you have read some books and short articles. On top of that, you come up with your own whatever framework also. So what I, as from the company perspective, what I'm interested was like, what are the criteria, what are the measurement indicators, what are the areas that as a company that we should be looking into. So I think that was not covered from the answer. Thank you.
No, can I, to address that, Mr. Chatura, so what we mentioned was from the company's perspective to have a look at all the operational side factors, such as the operations that are done by the employees, and also regarding the customers' perspectives. So usually when a survey is made, there are certain questions that are asked, and those questions are based on certain what do you say, templates, and it differs from electronics appliances to varying products. So as Abans has a varying set of products, we cannot like stick onto certain questions in our template. That is why we generally generalized and mentioned the MUSA, because of a research article that was made on the best analysis technique utilized for organizations. Also, regarding the operational perspective, we've mentioned that is to anticipate customer satisfactory levels. So rather, other than only depending on what to measure, we would also recommend to measure how operations are taken place, and the delays, even a delivery delay would cause towards a dissatisfied customer. So that is what we are trying to convey.
Sure, sir. If you have any questions from
Okay, thank you.
Dushan sir, if you have any questions from Team Gladiators, you can ask them now.
Gladiators, congratulations on your presentation. It was quite comprehensive. There is one question I had in my mind. That's about some of the techniques you have suggested, and some of the commonly adopted techniques you seem to have overlooked. For example, in measuring customer satisfaction, the two common methods organizations adopting is ghost shopping, ghost shoppers, and lost customer analysis. How would you fit these are the commonly adopted techniques into your holistic approach? Where would you fit them into?
In customer contact, they can be included, sir.
Okay, in customer contacts, and how would you fit in something like lost customer analysis in customer contacts? In what ways would you do that?
Yeah.
So yeah, kind of.
Yeah, tell Malik.
So the lost customer analysis can be made based on if the customer is returning to purchase another product, and also on our annual surveys, and also when there is a customer buying a product at the point of purchase, where on customer contact, so there will be a small feedback form, as the traffic in electrical appliances branches are very much less than grocery stores. So in that also there will be an question about recommendation. So on basis of whose recommendation are they purchasing? So this is how we are trying to analyze the loyalty customers and the customers that are lost, sir.
It's quite tricky. It's quite tricky to sort of get lost customers to fill up a survey or to get them back to buy another product if they're truly lost customers, because they might have lost the faith in a brand, and they might have stopped buying. So it's true that in your model you can fit them into the customer contact point, but the techniques and the approaches you need to adopt in getting the lost customers to share their experiences might have to be, I think, very carefully designed.
Yeah. So exactly what I meant was, so like, for example, if a new customer is doing a purchase at one of the Abans branches, there will be a question for them if they are purchasing on based on a recommendation of another customer. So based on that, we believe that we would get relevant data on if our loyal customer is still existing. And also based on the products, time of usage, and we can also measure if the customer is returning to Abans to get an product upgrade or repurchase a new product instead of the one that they had before.
Right, thank you.
Mahesh sir, please present any questions you have for our contestants.
Yeah, I believe that I'm audible to you all.
Yes, sir.
Yeah, okay. Congratulations, gladiators. I believe that you have taken an effort to present what you have found and what you have planned. If I take from your problem itself, it says that you are to identify elements and control measures of its customer satisfaction. And if I identify the customer satisfaction from a system point of view, the customer relationship management systems, we always identify a customer journey, or from the point that marketing, sales, and after sales, three main important elements of customer, where we link with the organization. So it's good that you identify both the employee side and the customer side in identifying the feedback or identifying the customer measuring. And what are the measures that you have taken in your solution to identify these three areas: marketing, sales, and after sales? Because customer satisfaction mainly depend on all these three things. So what are the measures that you have tried to combine this information from the customer? Because from the customer side and employee organization side, this unique views should be combined together in order to identify good customer satisfaction level or the measures. All right, what are the measures that team has taken to tackle this matter?
Yes, yes, sir. So based on what you said, the three levels, and what we mentioned, the three triangle in the triangle. So after purchase is where we recommend this one-click feedback on the Buy Abans app, and also what we recommend is a continuous feedback form that is there, and also we've recommended continuous support by Abans on multiple platforms, which is convenient to customers, where they would be able to service them, and also the extended warranty where they are able to give extended warranty for customers even on a benefit basis. That is what we are looking, and so that is where we are trying to measure the after sales customer satisfaction. And also based on purchases, that is where at the branch, when a customer is purchasing, the customer is asked to fill a feedback form. So this feedback form is basically not on how the product is, it is about how the service that Abans has given them. What about the service? So regarding the branch, how the branch had handled them and all. And also there are the open feedback form, which is there on all the platforms, which will be there on all the platforms, would also address this issue, where if the customer has faced a bad service experience prior to purchasing. And regarding marketing, so satisfying customers based on marketing is really tricky. It's more towards attracting them towards the product of Abans PLC. So this is where we would need internal metrics. So basically on through internal metrics, we already have data that we've collected based on our existing customer base. So regarding age categories of the customers and the general products that these customers buy for their age category and their preferences would all could be derived from our internal metrics data that we had. So based on this, our marketing strategies or social media marketing strategies would be implemented. I hope that I've covered all three levels, sir.
Yeah, what I'm expecting is how these three things from the organization side combine, because we see that every time that customer purchase, that it's very much friendly experience. But once you come up into the after sales, it's not that much about how these information combine together, because it's very important, this combination. Otherwise, customer might treat differently in 3 different levels.
Yes, yes, sir. True. So what we are planning to do is, sir, so on the first 6 months, what we do is we analyze the internal metrics based on the new customer. So we analyze if we've delivered the products late, or has it been on time? Have we helped them regarding the installation? And also, how has our service been? How did they rate our services at the beginning? So for the first 6 months, we will be analyzing the internal metrics that we've received from this particular customer, and also the customer contact, where the customer calls and mentions. And after the 6 months, if we identify the anticipated or the budgeted customer satisfactory level is really low, we would take the action plan where we focus, put the specific customer on a priority list and focus on them. Because we can't have a survey annually. After a year of usage, we will have the survey to identify if the customer is on the specific satisfactory level that we've anticipated, or is he less, or is he more.
Yeah, adding to that point, when we're doing the survey, we suggest Avance to upgrade or modify the existing Buy Avance applications, since it would be a cost-saving method, and just adding more options like complaints and inquiry making system, easy installment pay system to communicate repairs and installations, and system to give notifications to them. Then Avance can keep in touch with their customers through that mobile app also.
Yeah, thank you for your answer. It's all from my side. Thank you.
Chintini madam, do you have any questions for Team Gladiators?
Yes, thank you, Diliti, and thank you very much, Gladiators, for your presentation. And first of all, I will congratulate you on coming for this level of this competition. And I have this concern because when I go through the, what do you call, the requirements, what the first requirement was, I think Mr. Chatura was referring to that too, because it was missing the elements of customer satisfaction. I don't know why y'all have missed that part. Have y'all, I mean, did y'all come across main elements of customer satisfaction, like the factors that basically affect these customers?
Yeah, miss. When customers are satisfied, if Avance can deliver the quality and comfort products, and Avance doing monitoring after the sales, and timely delivery and flexibility, safety and sustainability, and also warranty claims, that those things can be satisfied customers.
Okay, so actually you could have, those are very, you can, those are, sometimes you can get a lot of information from research articles as from them also, because if you see responsiveness, sometimes it is just like after 1 year that you have to, can conduct a research after 1 year. I mean, customer survey can be done after 1 year. So basically what I am thinking is like you have missed a main point in your presentation, that is the elements of customer satisfaction, and you could have break down to 6 months and also for 1 year. Okay, so like 1 year, what are the elements that you should focus, and in 6 months, what are the elements you should focus? Do you have any answer for that?
Yeah, yes, miss, yes. The thing is, we actually identified the customer elements regarding safety, packaging, and transportation and flexibility, and monitoring the customers and all. So when it comes to measuring the customer satisfaction, we've developed a mechanism that was required for us to develop. So that is why we developed the mechanism where even in internal metrics or in customer contacts is where customer actually gives a feedback or informs the organization, or the employees informs the hierarchy that there is an issue with this packaging, or there is a problem with this particular branch and its delivery service and its after sales service. So that is where customer contact and internal metrics play a role. So what we've proposed is for the first 6 months, we utilize internal metrics to measure the customer satisfaction based on the data that we've had, and the customer contact based on the interactions that we've made with the customer during these 6 months. So both of these data is real time, and the chance of it being to lag is really less. Regarding a survey, it's 100% correct, as you mentioned, that a survey, when you do a big survey and to analyze the results, it might take a really long time. So that is why annually we have only one survey per customer based on the holistic experience that they are receiving from the particular product. When it comes to 6 months, that is why we are taking the responsibility on analyzing the data that we've collected on real time based on the operations that we've done. So if we've not done a really good operation, it insists that our service is really less standard, where we can anticipate that the customer would be dissatisfied and their elements would not be fulfilled. So actually that is why we focus on the mechanism more, because the mechanism covers the elements as well. So like a survey regarding, like when you say like from $20 to $200, there are survey templates and surveys that you can make, which is readily available in the market. So what we've suggested is the mechanism on how to implement this survey to a customer base, where all the elements of the customer base is covered in a survey.
All right. Thank you, Team Gladiators. Over to you, Diniti. Okay. Good luck.
Dasni Madam, please put forth any questions you have for our presenters.
Okay, first of all, I would like to congratulate you all for being selected for the final round. It's a good presentation. So I think you are using holistic approach, and under this holistic approach, you mentioned a method, customer contact method, right? So under customer contact method, you said that here least satisfied customers will be given the priority. Am I right?
Yeah, Mr. Anticipated customers who have least satisfaction level.
Yeah, so do you have any action plan to retain those customers?
Yes, miss. So what we've planned is to give them warranty extensions and also rewarding benefits and free services, as Chatur and Kavindu they mentioned. So free services, warranty extensions, and waive off, I think, 1 month of their easy installment payment to, extend it for another month. So to make it more convenient to them on receiving their services. And also there will be specific notifications that we would get in touch with them regarding their services. And also if the customers are like in the really lowest level of of satisfaction, like if a customer has had the worst experience, there would be a direct call or a direct agent sent to the customer.
Okay, so if you have such kind of action plan, I think like to identify the reason for their dissatisfaction and to part to make them satisfied customers, I think it's better to incorporate that system or that part to this model, that means to this measurement model, right? Okay, anyway, it's a very good presentation. Thank you very much.
I kindly request the judges to submit the evaluation sheets. In the meantime, we will look at a promotional video of our sponsor, Abans.
හෙටදින නැන එලියෙන් දැනුම් ලොබ ඔබ සරනා දකින්නට ලෝකය දැත් අතරින් බැඳෙනා ඔබ හා එක්වී ජය පිට ජය ලබා Abans ජාතියේ පරිගණක සැපයුම්කරු.
Thank you, Team Gladiators, for an outstanding presentation. Let us now share the presentation of Team Slytherin and see what Bhagya, Dulane, and Sajani have to share with us.
Good evening, everyone. We are Team Slytherin. This is our team, and this is today's content. Before moving to the problem, we did few in-depth surveys using customers who had purchased IT products from Abans. According to their responses, majority were very dissatisfied with Abans after-sales service. After taking other responses into consideration as well, we identified that since Abans doesn't have proper connections with their customers, there's no foundation to measure the customer satisfaction. Also, customers are more logical than ever and they don't want to spend their time or effort for something useless for them. Negative word of mouth on Abans after-sales service is increasing and it is disrupting the chain of recommendation to buy Abans products. Majority of the customers who have gone through the after-sales services are very disappointed and going to never recommend Abans. So, in this situation, there's a high need to conduct a customer satisfaction survey and take necessary steps depending on it. So, our big idea is a win-win situation by prioritizing customers. Simply, our strategy is to create a strong connection with our customers through various communication channels according to their convenience, and after that, surveying them after 6 and 12 months purchasing date. With the hope of implementing our big idea successfully, we have created our digital and PR plan. First one, creating Abans community group. In this group, customers are given their full freedom to share their experience about our products. Brand team can also actively engage with this group by posting, commenting, etc. Second one, introducing Abans customer service on WhatsApp. Since WhatsApp is one of the most popular social media used by the people, having a WhatsApp account for inquiries and technical support would make it easy for customers to reach the company. Third one, launching Abans clinics twice a year. This can be done by using the service centers all around the country, and services can be given at discounted prices for those who can't claim the expense from the warranty. Abans have a leading FB page in Sri Lanka which has more than 500,000 followers. But we can see some issues like not replying for customer comments and not posting attractive posts and videos. So, if the brand team can do something to improve the effectiveness of the FB group, it would be very great. When we talk about the websites, we could notice that there are separate websites for separate functions such as for online shopping by abans.com and for after sales services abanservices.lk and for complaints Abans complaint board etc. So it's better if the company can introduce one website for all purposes and modify the interface of that. Although the reachable community through emails is very low, like 10%, 15%, if the company can respond those people who like to receive emails and who send emails, then it would be a reason to retain and improve the satisfaction level of those customers. Over to you, Dulani.
Thank you, Bhagya. This is the main area of our presentation, our mechanism, that mainly related to systemized database which sends a message automatically through different media. Our database should save in a cloud. When designing our mechanism, we focus to main areas which are reaching the customers and converting survey results. Then let's discuss how to reach the customer. First, we have to collect main details of the customer at the point of sales. Especially at the sales point, we have to collect the most familiar connection media like WhatsApp, Facebook, Messenger, Instagram, and so on. Then, when we enter the data of customer, purchasing date is very special. We have to systemize the database as system is able to generate automatically message when complete in 1 week, 6 months, and final 12 months. Message that's sent at the point complete 1 week after the sale should be figure out thanking for being a valuable customer for Abans. Then next after 6 months, the message should include Google form that makes to trace the customer satisfaction level. That Google form should link with the database and automatically update according to the customer responses. After 12 months, also we should have the full same process, and we can provide repairing information as well. When reaching to the customer, some customers do not respond to the message. This is the main failure. Then at that situation, we use their familiar methods to contact them. If any media does not success as a final method, we can go for a phone call. So according to that, mainly we have to collect our details of the customer at the point of sales, and to convenient media used to share our survey. And finally, especially we have to point out the funnel. We are at the funnel. We are waiting 3 days at the one media and next shift to another one. For that, we can ensure our mechanism never miss single customer. So I would like to over to Sajni to explain the survey process.
Thank you, Dulani. We created a sample survey which includes 7 questions which cover different elements of customer satisfaction. Since we connected our survey to the database using cloud technology, we have included specific questions from which we can measure various scores. In the first question, we are asking the customers whether they recommend to us their colleagues and friends. Using the responses of this question, we can calculate Net Promoter Score, which measures the likeliness of a customer referring a product to someone. Simply, this measures customer loyalty. We can calculate that by taking the percentage of respondents who fall within the promoter category, which includes people who have selected point 10 and 9, and subtract the percentage of detractors, people who have selected from 0 to 6. In the next question, customer is asked about his overall satisfaction about the company. By assigning values to each choices given by the answers, we can calculate the average value of the responses. It is called as customer satisfaction score. In the third question, number of elements in customer satisfaction is checked with regard to the products sold by Abans. In the fourth question, quality of the after-sales services is checked. Here also, by assigning values for those choices, an average can be calculated and it can be taken to evaluate our after-sales services. In the fifth question, customer is asked about the effort it took them to have their issues solved. After assigning values and taking the average, we can calculate customer effort score. In the sixth question, we have asked about our employees and how they behave when they are serving the customers. The method I mentioned here is used for measuring the subjective elements of service quality. So a question like this can be created including the elements in this method, which are reliability, assurance, tangibles, empathy, and responsiveness. In the last question, we let the customer to express their thoughts freely, and those can be used to improve the level of customer satisfaction. All these calculations are done automatically by the system itself, and we can get the final output at graphs, charts, and reports, etc. Then, by using them, Abans can improve customer satisfaction level. So, what is special about our mechanism is, at a very low cost and in a simple and quick manner, customer satisfaction can be measured. So, try to make a win-win situation by prioritizing your customers. I'm Sajini Pereira for Team Slytherin. Thank you.
I kindly request the judge panel and the contestants of Slytherin to unmute your microphones and switch on your video cameras for the question and answering session. Dushan sir, do you have any questions for Team Slytherin?
Yes, thank you for your presentation. It was quite comprehensive, and you had some stepwise process elaborating how the customer satisfaction measurement part is going to be operationalized. I have actually 3 questions to ask. One is about your initial starting point. You mentioned about a survey and sort of poor level of customer satisfaction of the company. I would like to know more about the survey you did. How many customers were involved? What methods you adopted in getting to those conclusions? If you can please elaborate on more on the initial survey you did.
Sir, first of all, I would like to apologize on behalf of my team because one of the member is not presenting in this meeting due to an unavoidable circumstance. As asked, the survey, it was an in-depth survey, and in the survey, I got phone calls to those people. First, I found people who had purchased IT products from Abans. Then I got phone calls, and I asked them what are the issues they face and what they bought. Now what's the situation of their products, and I asked them, did you go for any after sales service? And the ones who said yes, we go for
Right,
after
okay.
sales service.
Now I understand. How many did you talk to? How many of them did?
It's like 16.
Right, okay, then I think research methodologically you had to be very, very careful. It's very risky to say that people don't like come back to Abans and the satisfaction is very low. What you seem to have adopted is a qualitative research technique. It's not a survey. What you seem to have conducted is an in-depth discussions with several customers who seem to have experience with Abans. So yes, by having 16 in-depth interviews, I don't think it's fair to say that customer satisfaction level with Abans is very low. This insight might have given you some starting point to think about it. That's perfectly fine, but it sounds like you're overclaiming, which is quite risky and unfair. And also the time approach you have suggested, like for 6 months you are going to do this, that I think was very informative and useful. And the second part, in terms of you mainly focused on how you are going to measure the customer satisfaction, and initial part of your presentation did not focus much on about what you're going to measure the satisfaction. That I think has to be discussed even at the beginning of your presentation, which you did later. In latter part of your presentation, talk about the service quality, taking the Parasuraman's Servaqua model. Other than Parasuraman's model, did you refer to some other models of measuring service quality and customer satisfaction?
So other than that, we use those scores, NPS, CSAT, those scores, not any models.
Right, okay. Because then Parasuraman's model can directly be applied into service models. Since this has a product element as well as the service element, you can go a little beyond, but that approach is fine in order to enrich and to make it more relevant to the context, the company you are referring to. You could have gone a little beyond that. And again, my last question, you mainly focus only on surveys. With survey, what I understood was that you're going to quantify and you're going to measure quantitatively the customer satisfaction. But research, in terms of the research methodology wise, other than quantitative methods, there are a lot of qualitative insights you can gain as you started. There are a lot of qualitative methods, like maybe using ethnography methods, observations, ethnography methods. There are a lot of other methods. Do you have any justification as to why you want to do more survey and less qualitative studies?
Actually, sir, we targeted on that as in the case study, we were given to find a mechanism, and we were thinking that we should present a solution which gives finally something scores to by seeing those scores and by seeing those stats, if we can get good decisions. So we were going on this path. That's why we didn't care for qualitative things.
Right, okay. Statistics anyway at the end need meanings. So there is this customer satisfaction is not always something that can be measured, and decisions cannot be made only on the measurements. You have to take the behavioral aspect of customer satisfaction as well, and therefore you need to adopt, I think, combination of techniques. Thank you. Anyway, it was a very good effort. Well done.
Thank you, sir.
That's it from me. Thank you.
Right, so can you put forth, if you have any questions, you can put forth our presenters now.
Yeah, thank you, Sildarine, for your presentation. First of all, I totally agree with Dishan as he explained that you have looked at the survey only, which is not good. And I believe that you have identified a mechanism. Was there any sort of effort to identify, because as I saw the guidelines of given here to identify main elements of customer satisfaction, was there any sort of a research on that part? And that's a one question from me. And the other one is how you have identified, because customer satisfaction may differ based on the item they purchase sometime. And is there any sort of a link with the thing that they purchase, and how it linked with the satisfaction, because it may change with the product they buy?
After talking about the customer satisfaction elements, in the survey we had included separate questions to track those elements, like responsiveness of the employees, and how politely they work with the customers, and how they create a good bond with the customers, and also with the product, the quality of the product, and how they can handle the issues, and so on. So all the elements we included in the survey, in the questions. Yeah, that's the answer for the first question. And in the second one, so can you please repeat the question?
I'm just asking about the way that you, how you think that based on the satisfaction, which depend on the service that they get, it might be depend on the product that they buy, and sometimes it differ based on the product. For example, if I'm buying a TV, it might be a different way I am expecting. If I'm buying something which might be a different sort of a item, it may differ. Therefore, based on the item that customer buy, will the satisfaction differ? Have you investigate on that, or whether you consider everything as equal?
No, sir. That's why we mentioned, normally we know that Abans may have a database, because that database is for all the products. Like people, when they come to an outlet, they may buy a washing machine, AC machine, laptop, phone, and everything. So what we do is, we have the main database. We sort the things, we sort a separate sub database for IT products. And through that, we are going to do our survey and the next processes, not for all the products, just for IT products.
So can I add something?
The survey.
Yes.
Sachin, you can talk.
Yeah, sure.
So actually, Abans is a kind of an intermediary business in IT products. Abans do not produce any IT product, no. And also, normally, we admit that our survey techniques that the first judge has mentioned that we done some mistake with taking the survey result. But the reason we choose only after sales services is the product of Abans are not kind of matter for any kind of quality problem. It's all about after sales services. The product is always good for the customers, and they recommend to buy. Then when we search for Sri Lankan any a business to buy a laptop or any IT product, always Abans comes to recommendation firstly. So that's why we think after sales services should we consider as our customer satisfaction measurement?
Okay, I believe that Dushan has mentioned a different thing, but anyhow, I'll see that whether Dushan might answer that, clear that matter. That's good that you think about the separate product based on the item and think that how customer satisfaction could be measured, because measuring customer satisfaction would not be easy. As you rightly says that, and digitizing or identifying a level is so much difficult. And comparing that, which is very subjective matter. So I think that your solution should have that element into thought. That's all from my side.
Just to add to what Mahesh said, I totally agree. When you're measuring or thinking about customer satisfaction, you need to make sure that you are comprehensively studying the satisfaction of the customer in the entire buying or purchasing process. It has to have the pre-purchase scenario, purchase scenario, and post-purchase scenario as well. So if without a proper justification, if you think that it's only the after-sales services that matters, that is again quite risky decision you're making. Be careful about that as well. Thank you.
Mr. Chatharan, please present any questions you have.
Yeah, hi. Thank you, Cynthia, for your presentation. That was quite good. I do tend to agree with Dr. Dushan and Dr. Mahesh. I think they both covered pretty much most of the questions that I had also had in my mind. Just one thing what I wanted to highlight in your qualitative survey, the interviews that you've done, you said the critical finding, one of the critical finding is word of mouth. So, but I didn't see any response or reaction or any solution presented by you all in the presentation. As you have identified word of mouth as a drawback from the one side. Any feedback from you?
So actually, as a solution for all those issues, we had introduced our digital and PR plan, because what we noticed is that we're weak bond between Abans and customers, because we know that normally any IT product, even if we buy from any other company or from another country, it may have faults. I think it's the normal procedure of those mid-range products, IT products. But the issue we found in that after sales services, so we think, yeah.
I mean, what you could have incorporated, like, you know, in this digital age, word of mouth is critical, especially companies like us. You know, you could have suggested some, you know, using social media into effective. The social media is the both side of the vertical. So that could have been incorporated. And also you have mentioned, I think the latter part, that you recommend Abans all customers to be used in this, I mean, your survey or whatever proposed the survey. But getting all customers is very difficult to a questionnaire survey or any form of thing. So you should think of any incentive mechanism to get customers, you know, into a dialogue to either fill up a questionnaire or just answer 2 questions that proposed from a SMS or something like that. So when you're talking about the entire customers of Abans, there has to be several ways recommended, you know, to get the feedback, not just one way of getting a survey done.
Yes, so that's why we use that funneling approach, because we know that by just giving a message, normal message, we also may not respond to that, because we introduced that funnel approach, which chooses other social medias and the things frequently used by the customers to reach them and get the survey filled, and finally to find the customer satisfaction scores.
Dasri Madam.
All right, fine, thank you. That's it from me.
Dasri Madam, if you have any questions from Team Slytherin, you can ask them now.
Yeah, thank you very much for your presentation, and congratulations for being selected for the final round. And my question is, how frequently you're expecting to get the final outcome after doing all this analysis part regarding the customer satisfaction? Actually, I can't hear you.
Actually, madam, we have to do this process in the 365 days because in every day there are a certain number of customers who get the data as the after 6 or after 6 months or after 12 months. There are certain number of customers. Like today we have 50 customers who has the date after purchase like 6 months. So we have to use all those customers and give them the survey to fill. Yeah.
Okay.
Sajini?
So, okay, thank you. And as I can see from your presentation, you have given priority for the social media techniques, right? So do you have any reason for that?
That's because, madam, we thought people are frequently using them. People have their mobile phones and tablets with them always because this coronavirus situation and all this situation because all world is going for technological world. So that's why we go for those medias to reach the customer.
Okay, so my suggestion is it's better for go for both techniques, social media techniques as well as non-social media techniques. Another suggestion here, you are mainly focusing on customers and you are collecting data only from customers. So my suggestion is it's better if you can collect internal aspect or internal information from employees as well. So anyway, it's a very good effort. Thank you very much.
Thank you, madam.
Thank you. The judge panel is kindly requested to submit the evaluation sheets.
දකින්නට ලෝකය දැත් අතරින් බැඳෙන ඔබ හා එක්වී ජය පිට ජය ලබා අබාස් ජාතියේ පරිගණක සැපයුම්කරු
Thank you for sharing your interesting ideas with us. It was a really good presentation. Now we will be sharing the final presentation for the day from Team Beyond Infinity. Let us see what amazing ideas and insights Sujan, Sairi, and Chatrika have to share with us.
In an era where unpredictability rules, customers may forget the product they bought, but they will always remember how you make them feel. Satisfied customer is the greatest asset for a company, but how are we going to measure it? So, welcome to our presentation, Customer Satisfaction Beyond Infinity. These are our team members. It was stated clearly in the company missions and vision statement that the customers are the most precious asset. So today our task is to introduce creative mechanism to measure customer satisfaction for Avance PLC. First thing we did was conducting a survey in order to analyze the current situation. We got 237 responses and 24.9% of them has bought their laptops from Avance. According to the responses, only 18% gave their feedback about the service. Most of them were face-to-face and over the phone calls. Here we can see an opportunity to gain competitive advantage over other competitors in the market since their provision is also in very low level. So, welcome to our big idea. In order to deserve it, our idea is to introduce physical loyalty card with lots of other aggregatory mechanisms which involves to measure the customer satisfaction in a very interesting way. In this case, we would like to introduce and award points to customers on their purchases. Not only that, here we introduce reward system which include discounts for next purchases, survey opportunities, giveaways, and this system will help to measure customer satisfaction by evaluating frequency of using the loyalty card. So let's see how this point accumulation system works. We propose to come up with a mechanism which can add points to the loyalty card proportion to the sales value, recommendation to new customers, new references, and participation of customer in satisfaction surveys. This point system will encourage customers to actively participate in our evaluation process. And we believe that determining the number of recommendations is a very good indicator to evaluate the customer satisfaction. So, Sujan, over to you.
Customer satisfaction is something which is everything that is not measurable in 6 months or 1 year. There must be a continuous procedure like evolution to measure it. So, these are our strategic views of looking at the continuous customer satisfaction measures. Nowadays, social media is like a nuclear weapon which is very powerful. It can decline the company or create the fate for a company to go up in a matter of time. The company must consider the likes for their posts, comments, which was not replied in advance, but which must be, and talk to the people who blames you and also people who praises you. Also, the tools like Google Alert, which shows how much people searched for you, looked for you, can be used. Then take mention another tool which shows where you mentioned, where were you hashtagged and also tagged. Then finally, a free tool called Social Mention, which evaluates the positive and negative feedbacks as an overall. So, going into the advanced administrated or not administrated IT groups, you can ask, the advanced can ask to share photos, videos, or experience in using our products. So, also it is able to use the free falls in measuring customer views and measuring customer satisfaction. In social media, though they talk without being questioned, which comes from their heart. Also, look at the interested customers and send the customer, then use the customer audience promotions where you can select the audience to promote it. Then coming to the another one, number of complaints can be used. The number of complaints is a good measure of satisfaction. It is important to reply to direct calls fast, then reply to FB complaints. Also check for real customers too, and deal with the fake customers is very much important. And automatic WhatsApp groups, which is used in commercial bank, like commercial bank, can be highly used in collecting information and satisfaction measures. This is how the advanced site looks great, and it is very much tailor-made. But let's improve it. Advanced can use facilities like Fresh Chat to collect the emails, also the track events, to keep all the past chats with the customers without expiration of the forum. If not, the customer has to input their email address, the name, or something their question again and again with the time. Also, finally, it is possible to use emoji surveys in websites, which is very easy, and also showrooms in their showrooms in a considerable height. Now, let's get back into the direct survey methods.
So let's see how can we measure customer satisfaction after 6 months of the purchase. We can conduct customer surveys to gather information from the customer to measure their satisfaction. Here we can use well-accepted measures such as Net Promoter Score, Customer Effort Score, and HDI Customer Satisfaction Index. So let's see how to do the survey in a way that we can achieve our objectives. The screenshot on the slide is a survey we received from a well-known telecommunication service provider in the country. Here, as you can see, one respondent can select many age groups. These basic errors will give us misleading conclusions. Therefore, it is important for us to gather correct data. When preparing the survey, we need to focus on the specific individual to whom we send the survey. On the slide, there's an example where we address a customer by his or her name without mentioning a common phrase like "Dear customer." Then we should mention what benefits they get by supporting the survey. Here we have mentioned the loyalty card points and rewards the particular customer will receive. Then the customer do have an incentive to contribute to the survey. When we include questions, we should have a good understanding of our objectives. For an example, if we have selected the Net Promoter Score as our index, then we should include questions which provide us information to calculate the index. This is a process we suggest to conduct annually to measure customer satisfaction. Firstly, we should have a proper understanding about our current market position. Then we conduct online surveys and gather necessary information. Once we analyze the information, then that we have gathered, we can compare our performance with our competitors. If our performance has improved, then we can continue the current methods we have already implemented. If our performance has decreased, then we need to implement new strategies and go through the process again. Here is a summary of our presentation. At the point of the purchase, the customers are awarded with loyalty cards. They will be awarded with reward points with respect to their purchase. After the point of purchase, we continuously gather information on customer satisfaction by using strategies such as social media monitoring, email subscription rates, number of complaints received, and etc. After 6 months of the purchase, we conduct an online survey. Using the information gathered through the survey, we can calculate the well-known customer satisfaction indexes such as Net Promoter Score, Customer Satisfaction Index, and etc. Then, after 1 year of the purchase, we do our competitive analysis and understand where we stand in the market compared to our other competitors. And also, we can crack the loyalty card and understand the customer retention rates, pre-purchase rates, and other important information. With that, we have come to the end of our presentation. Customer satisfaction is the best business strategy that we can have. So let's not deliver just another product. Let's deliver an experience. Thank you very much.
Before moving on to the question and answering session, I kindly request Mahesh sir to submit the evaluation sheet of the previous presentation. Now, the judge panel and the contestants are kindly requested to unmute your microphones and switch on the video cameras for the question and answering session. Sachintani madam, if you have any questions from Team Beyond Infinity, you can ask them now.
Okay. Thank you, students, for your presentation. It was a very nice presentation, and may I congratulate first for selecting for the semi-finals. So my question is that if you're going to incorporate, this satisfaction survey, what are the elements that you will focus in the survey?
Excuse me, madam, can you hear me?
Yes.
We are mostly focusing on the design of the survey. I mean, we must not ask huge questions like we must not ask them to give their view like long answers. We should just focus on the questions, and also in the long term we are looking at the market share, which means if our competitors has reached far, I mean they have gained more market share, that means they have just satisfied the customer, because sales means that is the customer satisfaction. So if they are having a more market share, that means they are just giving what the customer is needing. So we can do a competitive analysis and find what the customer needs, which we are not giving. We are not giving to our customers.
So here you will be.
Madam,
yes.
And adding to that, we basically focus on several elements where customer satisfaction is crucial. Firstly, the service provided after purchase, because these technical equipments can have a lot of breakdowns. So if students do have a chance to correct those things, it will have a direct impact on their satisfaction levels and the financial aids that they can get while they purchase these products. Because these days, as mentioned in the case study as well, these days students do go for these equipments, especially because they need it. It's not just a luxury item, it's a need these days. So most of the people who go and buy these products, especially laptops, are students. So these students, it is important to have financial aids for students. So these type of elements are being checked through the survey.
May I add something to that? We can use some question whether you recommend our product to your friend or another family member, or we can use those questions into, we can include those questions into our survey. And again, would you like to purchase another good from our company? Like that, we can use those questions into our survey. Again, if we want to get involved, more people involved in our survey, we can give some incentives, like very small incentives. We can come up with very small incentive mechanisms. And again, as we are mentioned in our presentation, those who are participating on the survey will get some points for their participation. At the end, they will get reward for their points when they are repurchasing from Abans. Again, it will not only measure the customer satisfaction, but also give another push for us to repurchase another good from this from Abans because of this current point system.
All right. Without further questions, I will wish you all the very best. Thank you.
Mahesh sir, do you have any questions for Team Beyond Infinity?
Right, Team Beyond Infinity, my congratulations. And I believe that you have had a good effort of answering the question, mostly in identifying the journey and introducing a card and pointing system. My question is, how are you going to link the customer satisfaction with the pointing system? Will there be any sort of a mechanism to identify, not only encouraging them to purchase again, but also to identify the change in level of customer satisfaction, because it might change within one incident? So how are you identifying that process with the support of the card?
So we are the points will accumulate when they are recommending the Abans to a friend or family member or the place where they are working. So when they buy, they will just get a point, let's say a point. So at the end of a year or some time period, we can just evaluate how much the points, how much the collection of the points, I mean, to all the cards. So then we can compare with the last year's performance and find how the long-term customer satisfaction how we have just satisfied the customer.
And so adding to that, as you said, when thinking about how to measure customer satisfaction using the card and the point system, what we suggest is, what is our point is, we need information to analyze, we need data to analyze, and then measure the customer satisfaction. So our card is the base point where we collect data from our customers, and we use well-accepted methods like NPS and customer satisfaction index, those methods, to get in value where we can give an idea about the satisfaction level of the customer, current satisfaction level, and if there's any improvements, we can track the data of the card that we provided to this particular customer and look at the past purchases as well. And also going beyond the satisfaction, we also look at the brand loyalty, because if we can achieve brand loyalty, that will obviously give us the opportunity to spread a good word about our brand. So brand loyalty can be cracked by this, because we tend to recommend our product to someone when we are highly satisfied, and we tend to go back to the same company to buy another product because we are loyal to that particular brand. We are satisfied with the product that we bought some time back. So when we give a card, we can track the past purchases of this particular customer, and we can check what is the past purchases, what is the retention rates, what is the repurchasing frequency of a particular customer. So that is how we are planning to measure customer satisfaction using the card. Thank you.
May I add something? Again, we are giving the other mechanisms, like in this card system also, we are giving other good creative mechanism which force people to participate in our evaluation process. So if we are giving a survey without giving any, without giving an incentive or without being creative, I think customer will not fill that survey. So if we want to get the information, we have to come up with a creative idea. So that is why we come up with this whole approach. That will help us to monitor our progress. Customer satisfaction evaluation.
Yeah, I believe that it's something that you should have mentioned. Something like customer profiling is something that you can do and make the customer identification more into detail. And I have another important observation that in your mechanism, you have two surveys in the journey of the customer, or some two different levels of surveys, two different points of surveys. And will there be any sort of subjective surveys, because whether you can identify the participant of the survey, because there's no way that you can link two ideas from two different points. Have you any plan of linking that information from one point of survey, which is like a kind of a longitudinal survey, where you can link point of answering from one point and the other point, and think that how these two places are changing? Something like, is there any sort of a linkage between those two surveys?
Sir, we are using the phone number to link the card, so that means the customer do not have to bring that card to the Aban center or somewhere when they are doing the purchase. Also, we do not want to include that their customer identification number or phone number in their service, because it will be much of a they may provide biased answers, because we are just giving a small reward. They may think that we won't give the reward because it is biased. Or on the other hand, we also can, if we for example, Seema is doing that, if we want, we just can put that identification number or the card number or the phone number when doing the survey. We can collect on that. The main point was that if we ask for that, they may provide the bias answer. That's why we didn't wanted to include that question in our that card system.
Yeah, that's what I'm trying to say, that it is say anonymous sort of surveys are always say accepted by customers, but it will not give information to you to link about the customer satisfaction level changing. That's why I asked that, do you have any idea on that?
Yeah, excuse me, sir. Adding to that, yes, we do surveys twice a year, one after 6 months and one after 1 year. So why we introduce a card is one card is unique for a particular customer. So what we do is when this particular customer go and buy something again, when this particular customer repurchases a product from the same brand, this customer's number is being recognized. So the same customer is being twice questioned and monitored by 2 surveys, 6 months and after 1 year. So here, the progress is being measured. And also when this person is recommending Aban's products to one of his friends or someone else, we suggest them to give the phone number, if possible, use the phone number, and when buying the product as Cargill's Kill's Nexus card, use the phone number so that we get the information. We can store those information in our websites and link this and see how much recommendations that this person has done. Okay, this person has done 6 recommendations by the end of 6 months and 8 recommendations by the end of 1 year. So there is some decline because within 6 months there are 6 recommendations and the other 6 months only there's 2. So there is a difference. So that is a link that we try to create using a card. So
may I add something?
Yes, sure.
Again, customer satisfaction can be changed, which means when it comes to 6 months, sometimes there is no any repairs for his laptop, and again when it comes to 1 year, sometimes there may be some repairs. So in that case, this person have to deal with the repairs, to deal with that scenario. In that case also, he will get another experience from Abans, so that sometimes his level, satisfaction level may be changed with the time period. That's why we are come up with 6 month plan, 6 month survey, and again 1 year survey, because this satisfaction level can be changed with the time period. So that's why we have separate two surveys in order to check whether this person is still with us.
Right. Thank you so much. That's all from my side.
Mr. Shatri, please put forth any questions you have towards the team.
Yeah, hi, team Beyond Infinity, thank you for your presentation. It was very good. Just a few questions from my end. Just like Dr. Mahesh highlighted, the loyalty doesn't really mean actually you are getting customer to satisfy. The example of Nexus, I go to Nexus because it's just my next door. I'm not loyal to kids, so something like that. So points doesn't really make the customer, to identify it satisfied or not. So have you guys used any benchmark from the industry? I heard this word from your presentation itself. Any best practices, any benchmark to counter define your proposal? So the question is whether you have used any benchmark from the industry, any best practices. So any other loyalty schemes that you looked into?
So we basically focused on the Google surveys, or just asking them what happened during that year, because mostly as our survey also showed that most of the competitors, almost all of the competitors are not asking anything from their customers regarding what happened during the year, whether the laptop was broken or something. But I think we didn't want to make our card and the Cargill Supercenter card very much similar, because when we are purchasing a laptop, we may not just go and buy it. We may just ask from all our friends, then all the experts, the friends who are experts in IT. So we will ask everyone. If someone says no, don't buy from here, we may not just buy it.
That's exactly my point. The point is, loyalty points is one thing. Your satisfaction is a totally different ball game altogether. So linking a loyalty, of course, it incentivizes you to go, but it doesn't really mean that you are really satisfied with the service you get, the things. But I understand the approach that you are proposing, the survey method to, just to evaluate how things been with the customer. But again, a question that I had is, you are proposing 6 months and 1 year, right? So in a business perspective, that is way too long. So perspective, the 6 months is, sometimes you don't remember the experience that you had at Aban showroom or things like that. So then you probably have spoken to many people and said, this is not good. But by the time is 6 months, you just go over it and you forget about it. So it has to be a little way of another mechanism, have a pretty short term. I mean, you can have a robust, big 6 to 12 months, what do you call the survey going on, but there has to be
Excuse me, sir. So we have introduced the continuous satisfaction measures, which are like social media. We have there is a tool called social measure, where you can just find what the people are saying about you. You can just observe what people are telling about you in the Facebook groups. If something happens, they will for sure mention it in the Facebook with the name Aban. So we can measure it, whether the laptop was broken or something.
All right, thank you.
May I add something?
Yes, I really can go.
Yes, again, yes, it is maybe too far, in 6 months is too far to do a survey. But here we, monitor that customer, which point, by the point of purchase. Here we monitor the customer by the point of purchase, because there we used to give some emoji survey, likewise and continuous survey, and again they will if they want to buy another thing, another equipment from our company, then they will use that card, and it will I think if someone is repurchasing from our company, that means that person will satisfy our service, otherwise that person will not come again to our company. So so those will be monitored continuously. So in order to come up with the 6-month plan, that's why we are using this survey.
Dishant sir, do you have any questions for the team?
Yes, I do have, I think, 2 questions and a couple of observations. I totally agree with what Mr. Chaturanga mentioned about the confusion between customer satisfaction and loyalty. They are 2 different concepts altogether. I mean, they are connected, but you can't sort of use loyalty as a synonym for customer satisfaction. So that has to be dealt, I think, separately. And then your entire presentation focused more on the mechanism that you adopt in measuring the satisfaction, mostly through the social media based approach. That's the understanding I got. But in terms of what you need to measure in the customer satisfaction survey or the studies you are doing, what was lacking in your entire work was the conceptual understanding of customer satisfaction, particularly a product of this nature or product range of this nature. What are the products you are referring to in this context offered by this company? In theoretical terms, are high in terms of the risk, because these products are high in their credence qualities. These products are high in their what we call search qualities. High in credence qualities means even after the purchase, a lot of the customers are not technical competencies to evaluate the performance of the product. Search qualities, high in search qualities means generally customers are looking at many aspects, unlike buying toffees and clothes and breads. Buying these sort of products which are high in search qualities, customers are generally looking at a lot of factors which you have not included or addressed much in your presentation. So they are also, that's how you need to conceptualize the satisfaction, measuring the satisfaction. And because a lot of these products are high in terms of the customer involvement, customer risk can also be very high. Risk in terms of time, risk in terms of money, social risk, psychological risk. So there are many other aspects you need to consider in terms of conceptualizing the customer satisfaction. Then you would, had you done the conceptualization properly, you wouldn't have concluded or sort of come to the conclusion of customer satisfaction or connected it only to the customer loyalty card. So that's bit of lacking part of the conceptualization. And the question I have is that the other observation I made was that in your presentation, the main ideas were a bit disconnected. You initially mentioned about a survey, which is fantastic. That's how you need to start. And then, without a proper connection, you immediately jump into the idea of loyalty. Loyalty card is fine, but theoretically, I explained why it has to be sort of conceptualized broadly. And then you jump into the area of the social media based customer satisfaction service. The techniques are fantastic. Techniques are fine. I have no problem with them. But the problem then is the compatibility of these techniques with the type of customers they have. So my question is, have you done any sort of a profiling of the customer and the proper match between these techniques and the customer profiles of Aban? Do you think all the customers who buy laptops from Abans are capable of or they are competent enough to sort of express their level of satisfaction or experience through the techniques you have suggested? Or should there be any other techniques other than what you have suggested?
Excuse me, sir. Answering for the first question, yes, we have done 2 surveys, and there are a lot of strategies that we suggested in the presentation, and the link that we wanted to create is that yes, we do measure customer satisfaction after 6 months and after 1 year, but we cannot measure satisfaction after 6 months without accumulating data about what happened during that particular 6 months after the particular purchase. So that is why we suggested these continuous assessment methods such as social media. And other than social media, we also looked at number of complaints, the technical faults that they have, they can call and complain, so we can get the numbers and other methods, and we collect those data within the first 6 months. And after 6 months, we do our survey, we analyze the data that we have created through our continuous assessment strategies and come to a conclusion about the position where the customers stand in terms of the satisfaction. And then after 1 year, again, we have a second survey, and our continuous assessments will go on without we don't stop doing these continuous assessments. They will continue, and we can gather data of the next 6 months, and we gather entire year's data and analyze the satisfaction level at the end as well. So that is why we have suggested several methods, which is confusing, understandable, but we divided into different categories, saying that continuous assessment methods and measuring after 6 months or measuring after 1 year. And the capability of our customers to answer the questions and answer and express their satisfaction levels through the strategies that we have suggested, we do think that they are at a position to answer these questions, because when we look at the product that we sell, this is a laptop, this is a technical product, and people who use these products do have a good background, and not good, at least an average background to use these techniques, and they are we believe they are familiar with technology. So mainly, yes, we focus a lot about social media strategies, and we believe, yes, these mainly these people do have a knowledge and accessibility to answer the questions that we have provided. And the questions wise, we are trying to put them in the simplest form, and that is the matter of the questionnaire that we prepare. We are focusing
Right,
on
okay,
that.
I understand your comment. Thank you for response. But it's very important that you remember that what doesn't matter is what you believe. What really matters is what you can support with facts and figures, right? So again, another point that you need to remember is that when it comes to buying decision, we always know that particularly high involvement products of this nature, buying process is very complex, and it's not only the user who involves the buying process. So in basic marketing, we teach about, initiator, influencer, buyer, decider, and user. It could be the university student who uses the computer, the laptop, but their parents would go with them and buy the laptop from an Abans outlet. And what if the student can understand the jargons and things they use, not the parents? Parent might feel vulnerable. Consumers can become really vulnerable when it comes to technology purchases. So if you make the argument just based on the assumption that it is only the user who is involved in the buying and you're measuring only the satisfaction of the user, that is a very limited conceptualization or conceptualization of the whole satisfaction, whose satisfaction you need to measure. So you need to think broadly about those areas. Right, okay, now, but I very, I appreciate and I really like the way you handle the questions throughout the session as a group. You very nicely handle the questions. You don't need to give me any further questions. As a person who is coming from a marketing background, I'd like to give a piece of advice to all the contestants today. Please do remember that customer is a gender neutral word. So after the customer, please try not to use the word only he, which is what I heard right throughout the presentations. So customer can be he or she. It is a gender neutral word. Maybe what you can do is after the word customer, you can use broadly they, or maybe he or she, if you like. Thank you.
If there aren't any further questions, the judges can submit the evaluation sheets. And in the meantime, I kindly request the judge panel and all the teams to switch on their video cameras for us to take a screenshot. I kindly request everyone to switch on their video cameras for us to take a screenshot. All the participants and the judge panel, please switch on the video cameras. Thank you, everyone. Also, team Beyond Infinity, it was an excellent presentation. Thank you. The ultimate victory in competition is derived from the inner satisfaction of knowing that you have done your best and that you have gotten the most out of what you had to give. We witnessed some amazing presentations from the 3 teams today. Now, while we analyze the evaluation sheets and the feedback from our panel of judges, let us now share a small recap from the semi-final round.
Passing one of the hardest chapters of human race. Throughout the years, we have passed many hurdles, and one quality always saved us from destruction. That is our adaptability.
So what are we going to do? How can we help the students coming from areas with no internet facilities? So this is our solution.
To illustrate how to increase the effectiveness of online education with the connection of psychology. Social isolation, increased stress, virtual learning, fatigue, and weakening relationships can be identified as key issues. So it is vital to create a psychology-friendly education platform.
Hello everyone, Bhagya from Team Slytherin. Let me start our presentation on the case study given by IIT Sri Lanka. This is the content.
Unstoppable career development through adaptive education. This is our big idea. AAT is a golden entrance to corporate world for any student that followed any stream in A-level. Apart from that, it's a very faster method, but we have to adapt to the current situation. According to that, our big idea, we expect to introduce digital and public relation plan. First one is introducing rating system for lectures when conducting online lectures. Maintaining the attentiveness is as the physical lecture is a very critical point in such area.
Our on-ground applications to enhance online learnings are One Place for All program for Anuradhapura and Polonnaruwa students. Students should be able to access these courses through an access center facility like Nanasala centers established under East Sri Lanka government initiative and access centers established by non-governmental organizations such as Sarvodaya to facilitate distance learners who reside in Anuradhapura and Polonnaruwa who have terrible connection issues, and also students do not own their own device to connect with the online classes. Encourage institutes to reward the most interactive students for the 3 levels.
Good afternoon, everyone. I'm Shara, and next up we have Maheshi and Shamadhar, and we are Team Edge. At this point, we all know what a pandemic situation can do. With the first wave of COVID-19, everything was put to a hold, and that did not stop there. We had to find ways to continue. Since then, we started moving on with the new normal, which was not an exception for the education sector, thus shifting the education system that we were used to from physical to virtual. But this was not easy, as there are still issues with this new mode of education.
We suggest to modify AAT learning procedure to a virtual platform and to provide an attractive virtual and bring inspiration to inquisitive minders, enabling an opportunity to bring out their inner accountant. We would like to recommend suitable strategies to enhance the effectiveness of online teaching and learning. By now, AAT accredited education centers are uploading their class views, online class links, and downloadable recorded online class videos to a virtual platform.
As per digital plan, we suggest to using Facebook ads that can be specially directed to the target age group, and use of YouTube ads to promote this new interactive way of learning. And today almost everyone engaged in learning maintains an email. Thus we can use email marketing as well. And the AAT mobile application, we suggested it can be made more user-friendly for the users by providing features like notifying them ahead of lectures, exams, and when something new is added. And to increase that, we can integrate with AI bots in FAQ sections in the available website and the suggested application.
So we believe upon this quote which we identified last year, that battles are not won with a single soldier but an entire army. We are Team Gladiators.
As we all know, whether it's physically conducted class or an online class, effectiveness of that is highly depend on the skills and competencies of the teachers who conduct the class.
AAT Sri Lanka AEC is conducting classes through online learning method.
I now have the final results of Infinity 2020. The winner of Infinity 2020 will win a grand prize of 60,000 rupees. Runners-up will be awarded with a cash prize of 30,000 rupees, and the second runners-up will win a 15,000 rupee cash prize. Before we announce the winners, we would like to take a moment to express our gratitude to all of you who participated in the competition. We were blown away by the presentations and the skills of our presenters. With so many to choose from, you can bet it was difficult for a panel of judges to decide which one was the best. But without further ado, we will now announce the winners of Infinity 2020. As second runners-up for the day, we have Team Gladiators. And among the two teams, Team Slytherin and Team Beyond Infinity, the team who has paved their way to win the first place of Infinity 2020 is Team Beyond Infinity. Not too far behind them is the runners-up for the day, Team Slytherin. Our warmest congratulations on your achievement and on your well-deserved success. The award ceremony will be held at university premises and the date will be announced in due course. Before I conclude, we express our heartfelt gratitude to Dr. E.H.G. Sumanasiri, Head of Department of Commerce, who despite a busy schedule has made time to grace this occasion. And I would like to extend our profound gratitude to our former Head of Department, Senior Professor Idayaratna, under whose light we started this competition in 2020. Also, I express my heartfelt thanks to our beloved lecturers of the Department of Commerce, Dr. K.M.V. Sashitra, Ms. D.M.S. Disanayaka, Ms. D.N. Panditasekara, and Mr. Sachin Vijayasinghe for their moral support and guidance throughout. I would like to further extend my gratitude to the academic staff of the Faculty of Management Studies and Commerce. Also, we are beyond grateful to our panel of judges for the day, Dr. J.W. Dushan Chaminda, Dr. W. Mahesh N. Fernando, Mr. Chatru Jayawardena, Ms. D.M.S. Disanayaka, Ms. D.N. Panditasekara for their presence and for their words of encouragement. It was an honor to have you here with us. Further, I owe sincere gratitude and appreciation to our platinum sponsors, Abans and AAT, whose contribution made it possible for us to implement Infinity Season 2 successfully. Last but not least, I express my heartfelt gratitude to all the distinguished invitees and all the contestants of Infinity 2020 for accepting our invitation and honoring us with your presence. With that, we can now conclude our session for the day. Thank you again for joining us and for your immense support. We hope that you enjoy the rest of your day. Thank you.